Hello. I'm going to try to do this quick. I don't know if I timed this right, but I got work in 2 hours and 15 minutes. I have a fucking meeting. I still need to take a shower. So we got to do this in under an hour if possible. I'm not going to skip floors, though. I'm just going to try to go quickly. How's everybody doing? My day's a little thrown from having this stupid employee server meeting, which I'm not excited about. I don't know who would be, or not server meeting, but a lead meeting. Since I'm a bartender lead, I have to come in on my day off and talk to everyone about everything. Mostly it's been like weird kind of insulting like employment, what do you call it? Like, so you know how people used to go on work retreats and stuff back in the day, and they would have like leadership games or whatever? Basically a bunch of glorified trust falls is what it feels like. Ways to work on your communication and your reliance on one another in a way that essentially kind of like belittles the intelligence of everybody that's a part of it, besides the person that's organizing. And I don't think that the person that's organizing it is doing it in a malicious way. I think it's just more of a, this is what everyone does everywhere, so let's do it. And you know, and I hate to say this, as the company I work for grows to be more and more corporate, which is what happens whenever a restaurant is successful, there's going to be more of this little bit of like creep of this same sort of ideology. It's not necessarily bad, it's just, it blandifies and it assumes the worst of the individuals. Like, it's one of those situations where the people who really are going to be movers and shakers have to be, I don't know, they have to go through a more unified, god damn it, kind of system to get there. And everyone else is going to kind of be assumed to be functionally an identical movable part. Which, you know, that's how you go global, that's how you cross over into a worldwide phenomenon or whatever, but it sucks. Like, it sucks from an individual standpoint. Yeah, the dog gets a little better. Just to kind of, to lose the, you know what I'm trying to say, to lose the feel of your own location being a little different. And that's what, you know, they don't want those places to feel different because they want everyone to be able to go to any store anywhere and just know exactly what they're getting into. They don't want it to be like, oh, at this one, the customers can expect the food to taste A. At this one, they can expect it to taste B. And it's just strange to like start off at a place with that kind of individual feel and to maybe not have that by the end. This is not something I care about. So we're gonna get Casey instead, and we'll get ourselves a little curse here. I think Casey will long-term save us money. I probably should have waited to do all of that because there very, very, very easily could be another shop or something. Did I thought I hit him into some water. I did not. I did not hit him. I did not. You don't want to be charging up a weapon when you go next to an exploder. Yeah, it's just, there's always going to be growing pains to switching focuses. And that's just, it's a fact of the matter that just it kind of sucks about growth. Growth usually, if not always. Dude, I'd rather have the money early. God damn it. God damn it. I know I'm probably going to be destroying some chests, and you're like, why not get a damn heart or whatever? Because I'd rather get 15, 16 cents or whatever. But for me, there's a very general thing that, like, so now everybody with tattoos have their tattoos covered. That I knew was going to happen as soon as we started the growth. Because of course, even though the culture around tattoos has changed pretty significantly, it's they're still kind of seen as, like, you know, counterculture things. And like, I had to shave my freaking beard when I started working at this place, and that was honestly the first sign of things going in a less individualistic kind of way. Was when I was hired. They said beards are okay. We live in the Pacific Northwest. That's kind of a part of the whole society of the pack, as it's always called by everyone. But 2 months later, they decided that all the Northwest locations, which at the time was only 4, were going to have a hard and fast no beards rule for front of house, because, you know, there's different levels of quality of upkeep, and it's pretty hard to be consistent to show everyone the expectations are exactly the same for everyone. For upkeep, some people had giant beards, some people had scrawny little few hair beards, some people had, dang, this is not a good room for this weapon. Some people had, you know, there were times when my beard didn't look super great because I didn't have time to trim it before shift. I did when I could, but like shaving, I only do it every once in a while. Is this gonna... That actually worked. That's great. This sucks though, because of the lock. We don't need a key though. We got a solution for key situations. Dude, why are those guys like not getting knocked back from the bat? Maybe I'm standing too close or something. Oh my god, what? Where are you aiming? The Cayman Islands? Aiming for the Caymans? So I've been in kind of a discussion slash debate with a conservative member of my Final Fantasy group. He is a Canadian guy who's conservative, who seems to be on the side of Trump for some reason. He's continually weighing in on issues about American politics. He's a Ben Shapiro fan and supporter. Oh my god, that was my wake-up alarm. He's a person who will not... this is going to show my bias, which is a very obvious bias, but he's someone who won't really engage when you bring up an argument that counters his stuff. He'll just keep kind of changing the subject. He brought up the, you know, what is it, 13% of black people represent 13% of the population of the U.S., but are responsible or whatever for 15% of or 50% of crime. It's a statistic that changes depending on when and where it's said. He was saying 17% in 70, which is the newest exaggeration I've heard of it. Other people were saying you know, 14% in 65, whatever makes it sound best. It's a ridiculous, extremely biased, you know, racist statistic that encourages people to look past the systematic racism and, in fact, support systematic racism. It is a statistic that exists only to encourage people to look at skin color before deciding whether someone is innocent. Because if black people are known for committing those crimes, then, I mean, why would he be innocent? It's like, it's a correlational study that ignores a lot of the causation, such as, you know, the numerous situations in which minorities and poor people are targeted, the numerous situation in which dense urban environments are overly policed and crimes are given a decreasing chance. But the counter argument I brought up, I thought, was a pretty simple one, and it was when there was the subprime mortgage crisis that put the United States into its worst recession since the 40s. Nobody went to prison. A white-collar crime in which the entire country was punished for the selfish actions of a few led to absolutely nobody being incarcerated. It led to no one being found guilty for anything, and essentially people were just let off the hook for what they did. And that doesn't add to the statistic of people imprisoned. It adds to nothing. It actually makes it seem like, you know, the wealthy white people they're still just doing good. You know, that's part of capitalism. That's part of the success story of people who were able to make a business big enough to receive a government bailout in order to keep the citizens afloat. Like, it's a success on their part that they got their business so bad, even though their practices are so shitty that it brought everybody down with it. Wells Fargo is airing commercials. I can't believe that Bank of America and Wells Fargo they have the gall to show their faces in public. Like, that's how upset I am about the whole thing. Like, it doesn't make sense to me that these companies can even lift their heads. I know a few years went by in which Wells Fargo kind of kept silent. The first time I saw an ad for them, I was like, what the fuck? They're back. They're allowed to speak in public discourse after the billions of dollars that the taxpayer had to pay to keep them afloat. But, you know, no crime. You have people lying under oath, no crime. You have, another thing I brought up was situations in which someone is the patsy. Someone is able to be kind of the fall man for big corporations, where a bunch of people benefit. One person takes the fall, and there's one person imprisoned or in some way inconvenienced temporarily or fined or whatever for the huge thing. And in that situation, you still have a statistic that says black people commit more crimes. You still have a statistic that says minorities and the poor commit more crime. And that is, again, ignoring completely the reasoning behind the crimes being committed. If someone steals $2 of gasoline to get their car to work or to whatever, they're a thief, they're a criminal, and they deserve to be punished. If someone steals billions, they're written off. They get a minimum security prison sentence where they're basically at a 5-star hotel the whole time, if they get committed at all. Like, if they don't just have connections and buy their way out of prison time. Like, it's fucking insane that anybody can look at that and think that the statistic makes sense. Like, it's such a frustratingly, intentionally simple-minded argument that has the express purpose of flustering and frustrating. Like, that's why it's used, because it's an effective tool. It's not used because it really represents anything. It's used because, and I hate to say this about my friend, idiots will swallow it up without looking deeper into it because they have something that proves their point. They already wanted to feel that way, so a confirmation is good enough. They don't need to think about it any further. And that's the problem with discourse right now. I watched there was an episode of Last Week Tonight, a very, very left-leaning news comedy TV show, and it was about healthcare. And one of the and Bernie Sanders' plan for a single-payer healthcare system. And one of the things that was greatest about the episode, in my opinion, was that it was not saying this is going to work and it's going to be great and it's going to be easy and everybody's going to benefit. It was saying this is going to be difficult, but it's a necessity. And that's exactly how I feel about healthcare, which there are so many other issues I feel strongly about in this whole election cycle going on, the proliferation of racist behavior and hatred towards minority while bootlicking the ultra rich is like disgusting to me. The rise of neo-Nazism is like just a cool thing that people are seeming to get behind again. Like, the hatred for, I mean, there's always been a Republican hatred for social practices, as long as those social practices help individuals and not giant corporations. If a social practice helps the NRA, they're like, dope. If it helps, farmers who have failed to adapt with the time, they're like, yo, we need to support them. That's just a humanitarian thing to do. If it supports giant companies not paying taxes, they're like, yeah, bring it on. That's how you that's how you promote economic growth. But if it helps a fucking individual that's struggling on a personal level with a system that is weighted against them, that is straight up communism, and they're not going to have any part of it. It's the most short-sighted, selfish bullshit. Everyone thinks that, like, the American dream means you have to struggle in every situation at all times, and then maybe you'll get a break. It fundamentally ignores the number of people that struggle in all those times and nothing happens positive to them. That the system just crushes them. Dang, where are all the fucking keys, dog? Because it's set up to ignore those people. Like, it exists to say, hey, the little man is not going to really win in a majority of cases despite hard work. But we want to make them feel like they can, so they keep trying. They keep supporting the big guys who are on top comfortably. And people don't get it. People don't want to get it. It's not that, well, who cares? It's not that, they couldn't understand if they wanted to. It's that they'd rather not, so why should they? Like, I guess that's a thing that's frustrating. It always feels like the willfulness to be socialistic towards giant corporations and the hatred to being socialistic towards small groups of struggling people is just, it's so very, very obvious. Or not small groups of people, huge groups of people who aren't giant corporations. The giant corporations are the small groups. That's the other thing that fucking blows my mind. These are like minorities of people just loving that everyone else is fighting over scraps while they're like hoarding wealth. It's so fucking obvious, but people don't They'd rather not think about it that way. Every time I hear someone defend Jeff Bezos' right to just accrue wealth and wealth and wealth and wealth, or even Elon Musk, or even any fucking other person that just like sits on gold and does nothing for the benefit of the fellow man, they're like, he earned it. Why should he have to pay anybody? He earned it. He did the work. He's the one who's good, and everybody else is terrible and lazy and mooching off of him. Like, people can't believe that. These same people will complain if technological advances close their old-fashioned business where their pawpaw was working 40 years ago, and it's not fair that people are moving away from coal towards whatever. Like, the government should do something about these shitty solar farms or wind farms taking jobs away from good working coal mans. Like, they need social help when it appeals to them. They need Medicare when it appeals to them. But other people don't deserve it because they didn't go through the same struggles they went to. They think. Like, no one in their mind has struggled as hard as they have. And I guarantee they fucking have. Like, I guarantee that a greater number of people have struggled harder than they have. But they don't really care to see that. Like, they want to keep their eyes blind to that part of the equation. Oh no, this is a terrible spot to be. Ooh, worked. Because then they'd have to, you know, live with the fact that... Oh my god. I'm just going to go ahead and do that. That, them having it bad doesn't mean other people... God, I always dive that one wrong. I fucking hate it. Doesn't mean other people should also permanently have it bad. It's just, it's like, I suffered, so the whole world should suffer forever, and it's fucking stupid. It's the same people that say that, like, I put my life at risk to pay for college, so no one should get free tuition. I want everyone to have to suffer as hard as I did. It's so unbelievably selfish that, like, you shouldn't even have to point it out to people, but you do. But anyway, this game's going well. I missed the Fok by a pretty similar spot that I've been getting hit recently. Doing that one dodge roll. I need to just move straight on it. Dude, I don't want ice water. It's not a synergy that's exciting to me. Okay. Okay. Help. I'm doing this room all wrong. Yeah, I don't know. I want people to start thinking about the greater good of their fellow man, not the greater good of a company they like, or whatever the fuck reason they're sacrificing their own best interests for smog, like for the gold hoarding dragon. I don't get it. And I genuinely mean, I do not understand why people hate themselves so much. Because you struggled to get to the successes you need, why should everybody be miserable in order to get where you are? It's just nonsense. Wouldn't you have gone back and had a better time of it if you could have? Like, frustrated. Just thinking about it is making me angry. Did I think I still... Yeah, I think I did buy the key, so it's another floor with only the shop key. And you know these same people are looking for every loophole, looking for every way to skip the worst situation. Like when I told, you know, when I told the person in my link shell about, or my Final Fantasy like FC free company, whatever it's called, I don't fucking know. They said, you know, if you're, instead of like saying that the United States should have social health care, if you get sick, wouldn't it just be smarter for you to fly to England and use their socialized health care? And it's like, yeah, it would be cheaper. It would also be risky, and I would also lose a bunch of work instead of just having that in my country. Why should I go have to take advantage of another country's humanity instead of insisting that human decency be a part of my country's humanity? Like, it doesn't make any fucking sense that they thought that was a valid argument, like a real gotcha moment for them. Ooh, nice. So now we're never ever going to be able to get rid of. Oh, we didn't buy the key. Nice. Oh, we're going to the next floor with a key in hand. Yeah, for some reason that makes sense to him. Go find your loophole. The people who are already doing the right thing, take advantage of them. Oh, we won't be going with a thing. Dang. But for you, you shouldn't want it. You shouldn't want that. You shouldn't want to be in a situation that's beneficial for you. And again, like I've said, I am willing to pay more in taxes. I am totally... I need to put an alarm on for 1 o'clock. I am totally all about paying more for taxes. I'm also very all about tax reform, giving the people who need help taxes instead of the people who... Dude, am I going to do this for extra damage? I'll wait. I'll wait to see if it's the right call. You know, I wouldn't mind a poison protection right now. But I just, like... You know, people, I think it costs me and my wife about $2,000 a year. Or $3,000, I think the way that I've done it now that we've added up our taxes. $3,000 a year as a couple. We pay, you know, Jackie's already paying like hundreds of dollars a month for her health insurance. And then anytime anything goes wrong, it's thousands of dollars. So yeah, it's fucking worth it. And also, I now know that there are other people, like, the more people on it, the cheaper healthcare can be because of how health insurance fucking works. You know, you use, oh god, you use more people to drive down the cost of stuff because you have people already paying. That's how health insurance companies are able to make money. They're using other people's money to drive down the overall cost because they have guaranteed money going into them. And it's been understood for decades, but when it comes to that being the case with taxes, people are like, nah, it doesn't make any fucking sense. Why would it cost less? Why can't we just keep paying money gouging psychos and CEOs of companies that would sacrifice you for a fucking dollar Why can't we keep just paying them money? And you know the real reason is because everybody thinks one day they're going to be that rich person that's going to suffer under the oppressive yoke of taxation. I'm done with it. I'm tired of I'm tired of letting the wealthy sit comfortably on the broken shoulders of the population. It just doesn't make any sense. And I love the comparison to these people as the dying breaths of aristocrats before revolution. I don't think we're at revolution yet. I think if this shit continues, if people are still sacrificed for the ultra rich, we're gonna see a fucking rehash of something. Like, it's like history doesn't work for most people. Like, you just got to keep doing the stupidest, most awful, long-term failure of a strategy over and over and over, and eventually it'll just recycle itself instead of people being ready for it, you know? Litter. Don't even need that gun for that. I have another gun that can do it better. Dun, 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 dun. Gotta keep using this one. Whoa, why is my button... Man, my hands are so cold, I think. Oh, God! By the way, the heat's out in my house, so that's cool. Whoa. That was kind of surprising. I didn't expect it to clear them all like that. Oh yeah, use all blanks. Come on. There we go. There we go. What gun did I get on this floor? I guess they really wanted me to have the cog of battle. That's understandable. It is useful. Neat. Dude, I might burn through bullet hell with this one. I'm trying to speed things along, and I'm also tired of this horse shit. Tired of getting the same fucking weapons all the time. Sure, why not? Already found the secret. I don't know what else to use. I'm like running out of... Yeah, we'll use this as the... Well, no. This is probably not the right one, but... I'm running out of room clears. Oh my god. Because ammo is being a little shitty. So the reason that one sucks is because it doesn't give me enough time for the thing to respawn. So could use this one, I guess. I just want enough time to passive reload when I need to. Yeah, heat's out, so hands are cold. I wonder if people are unsympathetic out of genuine ignorance, or if it's like, I mean, to me it feels like willful ignorance, you know? Like, it's like, so, you know, say they build a new stadium, they displace a bunch of homeless people, they kick people out of places they've lived for a long time, the taxpayers pay for something that then is like corporate sponsored, and people will always argue like a new sports team brings jobs. It brings a few hundred jobs or whatever, and therefore it's worth the human misery that it causes. It's really that just like people want a local team, they want something to cheer for, and anything that gets in the way of that, be damned, because they're not going to be negatively affected by it. So why should they care about the shitty little babies, crybabies at that are going to be affected? We want both of those. So we're going to have to sell a bunch of stuff, but we're not going to do it yet. Like, until it happens to them, they can't care. And it's like, it's just kind of a short-sightedness. It's not, I don't think, a direct hatred. It's honestly that they think they will forever be unaffected by such a situation. Oh, that's a tough one. And I think that's what bothers me the most, is that it's not, you know, everybody knows someone who is very helpful to the poor, or they're very charitable with their time and resources, and their reasoning is like, there, but by the grace of God go I. Like, or by me, or however it's pronounced, I don't know. And it's a fundamentally different way of thinking. They think that I should do better for these people because it's a lucky situation that whoa, that was weird, that led to me being on the other side of this equation. Like, it's a lucky situation that didn't give me the injury or the genetic disorder or the poor upbringing or whatever that led me to being comfortable in this life. And they just can't see it. They think they've done everything to earn anything that they've gotten, and it's other people who just want free things that are struggling. There's so many people screwed over on a daily basis by things out of their control that they're just not trying hard enough. If you work hard, you're guaranteed success. And they genuinely think this, and it's so fucking disappointing to hear over and over and over. You know, because the thing is, like, it only takes a handful of like success stories for them to believe that anybody can be successful if they work hard enough, etc., etc. Like, it doesn't matter how many stories of hard workers who aren't successful exist. That's not, you know, fair counterexample, because those people were probably lazy, or they probably didn't put out the right effort, or, you know, excuse A, excuse B, excuse C. Like, I don't know. It's really frustrating how willfully selfish and short-sighted people can be when they compare their situation to others. Hey, an active item. Ooh, an active item that'll allow us to steal. Ooh, baby. Ooh, baby. So we get one, steal one? Dum, 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 dum. Why do I have all this extra ammo? Oh, I got an ammo belt. That's fine. It's the last time I got to interact with that dude anyway. Oh, there's nowhere to stand over there. I can only steal one. I don't have the money to get one, to steal one. 1, 2, 3, 4. He would still let me buy? Weird. That's fine. I think I'm poison proof. Oh yeah. Yeah, I'm poison proof. We can sell a bunch of shit. That's what's going on. To get one. This definitely. This definitely. I actually fucking hate this gun, and I think it's worth a lot. Let's just do that. It worked. Oh, I can't believe it worked. Oops, damn it. Alright. So now we sell this. Whoa, did you see that thing try to jump into the pit on its own? So do we don't have enough for this game. It's like 35. That's totally fine. 38. You know what? It's not totally fine. I'm gonna fucking get it. I don't need these shoes. I'd much rather have whatever I might be able to get, if I'm lucky, from this guy. Damn. A little off on that one. Dang! Okay. It's a gun. And use it with this. With our extra damage, we should actually be okay with a lot of weaker guns than we would have been otherwise. Yeah. Whoa. Make sure to not waste the reload stone on this. What? I was about to just praise the precise orbital blocking of that Guan stone multiple times in a row. But ended up that I still got hit. I'm pretty sure I kept the water gun because I knew I needed one thing to do in case of fuse. Hey, hey. Yikes. Didn't cost a key. Oh man, that's not what I want to use. Super serum or something else that's similar to super serum. We got to skip one trap room for a much easier trap room. I think that's a win-win-win-win-win. It's a real win, Stacy. Jackie's birthday is a week from away. A week away. It's not a week from away. It is just 1 week away. I don't know what to do. I already got her a table saw. She still needs... For her birthdays are like proving grounds. Like, I'm gonna say something that sounds probably very male and very whatever, I guess, is all I can say about it. But I hate situations where large periods of considered work considerate work and interaction can be not discredited, but less credited. Ooh, that would be really good. That would also put me at 8.5. In the face of, you know, a certain day wasn't great. That should have been. Dang. Guys. Can you please back up? I hate coming in on that side. See that expert fucking dodge out of the way? Ugh, our other shop is a fucking... I hate when our extra shop is the synergy lady, because I lost all faith in her. And maybe it's not entirely her fault, but it's... I feel it's mostly her fault. Oh my god, everything is going to give us a bunch of curse. Well, that's the cost of getting curse early. That would also put us at 8.5. No, that would put us at 9.5. Holy shit. And so would Holy Grail, now that I think about it. Because Holy Grail has that 10 extra. Let's see something. Yeah, that's exactly what I want this for. That attack. I know it kind of is wasteful because I'm like very obviously sitting at the damage count, but I'm most likely sitting at the damage count with other situations. Just gonna use it. so why the fuck not? And I think, because I need to rush, I think I am going to... I didn't time this very well, so I am going to have to burn through bullet hell. With the cheapo style. It's disappointing. I almost missed that dodge roll. Wow. If that bullet hadn't wiggled. Man, it seems like beam weapons suck against the dragon. I basically have 26 minutes in order to be done with this, in order to not have my alarm go off. I still need to find the other treasure chest, though. Of course. Ooh, 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 ooh. Come on. Just be dead. Come on! Doom, doom, doom. Okay, well, let's keep going. I will probably... Oh, fuck. I probably won't buy a key now. Now that I actually have enough for the thing. The Full Metal Hyperlight Blaster. It's just a better purchase. Like, I know I already have a lot of guns, but that gun is fucking sick as hell. That's not the one I should have opened. But how would I know? I don't know. And let's scoot doo 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 doo. Let's scoot doo 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 doo. We're up on out of here. Let's get going, baby boys and ladies. Could have maybe given this some more ammo. But guess what? We got the reload stone. We got that reload stone. And also, this is not going to be in any way a boss weapon. Yada, yada, yada. Boss weapons are super figured out. The piercing thing, the membrane, the hyperlight blaster, etc. Oh, it's been a long time since I've actually used this. Since I've given myself a situation in which I've forced my own hand. Oh, right, it fills back up. Oh, God. Well, didn't know what was even going on. And there's that ammo I was talking about. Another thing that was brought up was, you know, the person talking about the way that America should be is a, you know, he's like an immigrant or the son of an immigrant or whatever. And he's like, I shouldn't have to defend to Americans the American dream. And it's like, you know what? It's like an American dream is a hollow, it's a sales pitch. It's a way of, you know, building national pride. It's not the reality for everybody. It's the reality for a few. And it is an amazing, amazing story you can tell about those few. But it's a very small number of people that are actually getting to live the American dream. Hard work pays off in some circumstances, but acting like the country doesn't need to be fixed because of the idea of the American dream is one of the most childish, and I'm going to say it here because I'm not, I don't want to say anything too harsh to the person's face, but it's a childish and brain dead way of thinking about the world. And it's embarrassing to think of it as an adult as a fact. Saying that a nation needs to stay the path that it has at any point is childish and brain dead. There is never a point where you should stop trying to do better by your people. And I think that's what conservatives believe, that like that point was hit in the post-war, heyday, where minorities were repressed, but man, you could fucking enjoy a milkshake at the soda jerk or whatever. Like, when their idea of values that exclude the lives of a huge number of people were represented, so they think, we need to go back. We need to go back to that day that my grandfather talked about, that in no way was as ideal as his rambling memories of it are. It's just, it's little kid think that there can ever be a point at which nothing can be improved and nothing should be improved. That things need to just hold the course. Or else, you're just complaining too much. Or what the fuck ever. And it's also, like, so... It's so untrue because they don't feel that way when it comes to things that are negative to them. Like, it's only when it's something that might fucking benefit someone else that they don't think is worth the effort or time. I don't know. I should drop it. Also, this guy's Canadian, so who gives a shit where his stance on these matters is? I just that's my biggest issue with the whole thing. Not that I don't care about Canadians, but like, this is an election that affects us. It's not just public theater, I'm gonna start backing away. That was a really good phase 1. No blanks used. HLB for phase 2 with the membrane. Hey, membrane. That's my membrane. Hey, membrane. Oh, hands, come on. Hands, don't fail me now. You see that first shot? That first shot almost was a hyperlight blaster shot. And had it been, I would have been real upset. Because it went very wide of the mark. Hey DJ, that's my DJ. Hey DJ, that's my DJ. I'm probably gonna blank this one. Yeah, right about now. Dang. There we go. That is a beautiful Lick Floss. Oh, we got a lead god too. Didn't even put it. Too busy talking about the same shit I always talk about. I wish I didn't have to press a button to speed through this, because I would dance through the credits every single time. Ooh. Ba ba da ba ba da ba 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 da ba ba da ba da ba da ba da ba 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 da.